Democrats are looking for answers after Kamala Harris's campaign for president collapsed on election night. President Joe Biden, Tim Walz, even George Clooney are all receiving a piece of the blame from people in the Democratic Party. Some Democrats are tracing the loss back to the beginning, when Biden bowed out of the race in July. Some Harris campaign advisors told the Associated Press Biden should have recognized earlier in the election cycle he needed to step aside. Andrew Yang, a Democratic presidential candidate in 2020, agrees. The biggest onus of this loss is on President Biden. If he had stepped down in January instead of July, we may be in a very different place. David Plouffe, a top advisor to the Harris campaign, called the loss devastating and highlighted how the campaign had to dig itself out of a deep hole. He deleted his social media after that post. Many Harris campaign staffers are speaking anonymously to media outlets, pointing the finger at Biden, fuming at the hand they were dealt so late in the game. One Harris aide told Politico, "We ran the best campaign we could, considering Joe Biden was president. Joe Biden is the singular reason Kamala Harris and Democrats lost." While people on Harris's side blame Biden, other Democratic voices are blaming her. A more public case of finger-pointing happening in Philadelphia, where the Philly DNC chair says Harris's campaign was incompetent and provided no support to local Democratic leadership.
The national campaign, nothing, zero. They had no respect, they had no coordination. They didn't talk. I never even had a conversation with the lady. They didn't even do the right thing as far as giving us the resources that we need, and they want to blame us. And now I understand somebody ever came was blaming Joe Biden. Can you imagine blaming Joe Biden for her loss? She lost, he didn't lose.
The Harris campaign was quick to respond, saying they knocked more than 2 million doors in the weekend leading up to Election Day, which is 2 million more doors than Bob Brady's organization can claim to have knocked during his entire tenure as party chairman. A Harris surrogate is now reflecting on Harris's choice for VP and questions if Tim Walz was replaced on the ticket with a more moderate choice, would the race have shaped up differently? The blame game has started. One of the things that are top of mind is the choice of Tim Walz as vice presidential candidate. A lot of people are saying tonight that it should have been Josh Shapiro. Frankly, people have been saying that for months. I know a lot of people are probably wondering tonight what would have happened had Shapiro been on the ticket. And not only in terms of Pennsylvania, he's famously a moderate. While some Democrats believe Biden took too long to pass the torch, some are questioning whether Biden should have stepped aside at all, part of the push from prominent people like George Clooney now being mocked online. A journalist posted a screenshot of George Clooney's op-ed in the New York Times asking Biden to end his campaign, saying the party needed a new nominee. Joshua Hartley captioned it with, "Thank you, George Clooney." Progressive Bernie Sanders, who won re-election in Vermont Tuesday, took to X to send a message. While the infighting and finger-pointing was quick to spark, Sanders says it's the Democratic Party that's the problem. It should come as no great surprise that a Democratic Party, which has abandoned working-class people, would find that the working class has abandoned them. While the Democratic leadership defends the status quo, the American people are angry and want change, and they're right. Thanks for watching our news update. For more stories that matter to you, be sure to download the Straight Arrow News mobile app or visit us online at san.com. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Kara Rucker.